Moving On by Marion Maskill of Kelso 2795. Narrated by David Tredinnick. The wind howled around the old house. Inside, Tom held his old, gnarled hands up to the poultry fire. No point in getting in more wood now. He'd be leaving tomorrow. Sally and Bob were picking him up to start his new life in a retirement village, of all places. He hadn't been keen to go, but they had eventually worn him down. It seemed okay when he went to see it, he supposed, all modern and clean and with air conditioning, if you please. Tom had never had air conditioning in his entire life. Sally had been worried about him. "It's not good, Dad, now you're on your own, being out there so far away that we can't visit often, and what if something happened to you?" His other kids had backed her up. So he had eventually relented and reluctantly gone to look at the place in town, and now, tomorrow, he would be on his way there. It would be hard to leave the old place where he was born, and that he had known since childhood, where he and Mary had had many years and raised their children through good times and bad. But he was getting older. The old house needed work, which he was unable to do, and he had to admit the property was getting a bit much for him. He was lucky that young bloke from next door had been happy to buy it, and he was knocked over with the price he got for it. Imagine that. And now, poor old Bill, his trusty Kelpie, was gone too. Guess he wouldn't need to worry any more about droughts, floods, or bushfires either. He remembered several times when they had lost a lot of stock, and almost the house and sheds, to floods or fire. He'd noticed the menu at the new place, and it seemed all right. He admitted he hardly bothered now, a bit of bread and jam for tea. Mary did all the cooking while she was alive, and it was something he had never needed or wanted to do, or learned how to do. He supposed he would be able to see more of the grandchildren when they came to visit him in the new place. He liked helping young Thomas with his Lego, and that Matilda was quite the artist. He'd noticed they had an art group in the village. Maybe he could join that. He was quite good at drawing when he was younger. Of course, he wouldn't bother with swimming or exercising in the gym. He wondered what the other residents would be like. He'd been pretty isolated out here, but they might enjoy the odd yarn. A few of the blokes had nodded and said g'day when he was there. He had noticed the workshop. Maybe he could still make some things. It looked fairly well equipped. Most of his old tools had seen better days. And there was a garden. He loved to grow fresh vegetables. Maybe he could show them how it was done. Ah, well, time to pack his suitcase, ready for the move. Tomorrow was another day. The end.